As kids, we were handed these toolboxes by our parents, and they contained, things to navigate the world, like how to load the dishwasher, how to say you're sorry, how to listen to instructions, how to play nice with the other kids. Maybe we learned to iron clothes. Maybe we learned things like how to use a saw or a hammer. We got this tool set, and it was comprised of these tools that our parents had, things that they got from their parents and things that they acquired along the way as they grew up. And largely, for most of us, that tool set did not include really much around emotions. Most of our parents grew up in a time where they heard, "Don't cry. Get back up, try again. Keep going. It's not time for that. You're being too sensitive." And so they learned to stifle their emotions. And maybe as adults, they never went back and had the opportunity or recognized the opportunity to build that tool set for themselves. So when they had us, they didn't know how to handle their own emotions, so they couldn't handle ours. So unfortunately, we absorbed some of those same messages. It's not that our parents are bad parents, or that they don't love us, or they're not good people, because we know that that's not true. Parents give everything they can to their kiddos, but they can only give us what they've got. And so despite their best intentions, there were moments where we were left with absolutely nothing to navigate what was happening inside us. We can navigate the outer world, but when it comes to the inner world, most of us have absolutely nothing to work with, or very, very poor coping strategies, like Netflix, like a cocktail, like eating a box of cookies. Some of us use exercise to numb out, some people use sex. We have all of these ways to distract us from the emotion that's actually happening in us. And so a lot of us, during the workday, something will happen that'll piss us off or make us really frustrated. And we'll come home and tell someone we love about what happened. And maybe that loved one has enough in their tank to listen deeply and give us some feedback that's really helpful. But maybe they don't. Maybe they've been busy with the kids all day. Maybe they're still busy with the kids and they just don't have enough in their tank. Maybe they're just not a good listener. Like, that's just not a part of their tool set that they were given. And so we end up talking about the thing, but we don't really feel heard, or, despite our loved one's best intentions, we just end up feeling like they're trying to fix it for us, and that doesn't really help. And we can end up feeling kind of helpless and just kind of stuck in it. And because we don't have the tools to be able to process through it, we just, grab a beer and just try to distract ourselves. And so we end up carrying that thing around because we never got to deal with it because we just didn't know how. It's not that we're inadequate. It's not that we're not capable adults. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with us. It's just, we just didn't get that tool set. And so on top of that, on top of these feelings of helplessness and this lack of tools around this, there's this culture around self-help, and emotions that encourages us to numb out. We say, thank God it's Friday. Like, that's a thing, TGIF. Like implying that our weeks have been shitty and now we just get a vacation from the shittiness before we go back on Monday for more shittiness. And if we had some tools, we wouldn't be glad it's Friday. We'd be glad it's Tuesday, and we'd be glad it's Wednesday. And we'd find meaning and purpose in every day and ease in every day. an easier communication with our bosses, with our partners, with our children, with our parents, with our siblings, with our friends. We'd be having deeper conversations with them, really connecting. We wouldn't feel the need to have a cigarette or another beer to escape our problems, because we'd feel heard. We'd feel loved and appreciated and seen. But we don't know any of this because we haven't been given the tools to even identify what's happening in our bodies. We don't even know where to start. And so this is the work that I am setting out to do. To help you identify, what am I actually feeling? I feel mad, but that's all the information I have. Where else do I go? So we help you get to know you. We help you connect the dots so that mad turns into maybe a feeling of inadequacy, that then we can figure out that that came from a message that you've been playing in your head since you were little because it came from your grandfather. And we can visit that little kid in one of those moments where grandpa was yelling. And adult us can meet that little kid us. And we can wrap our arms around them. We can listen to them. We can look in their eyes, in our mind. And we can offer that kid the compassion that they deserve. The compassion that they've been needing and wanting all of these years. The compassion that actually enables that little kiddo that lives in us to stop acting out in that way anymore. Because every time we're angry at someone we love, every time we lash out, every time we shut down, every time we get numb, that's just our little kiddo in us. That's a pattern we learned when we were really tiny to cope with a really chaotic world around us that we couldn't control. And so when we go back in that moment and meet ourselves and offer ourselves the love that we wish we had, that little kiddo gets to feel safe. That little kiddo gets to feel loved and seen and appreciated for who they are, so that they don't have to hide, so that they don't have to shut down, they don't have to numb out, they don't have to control the situation, they don't have to be unkind, they don't have to alienate everyone in their life. They just get to feel loved for a minute. They get to take a breath. And when they do that, we adults get to find peace for a moment. We find that the next time we're in a situation that usually provokes that same emotion we were just feeling, it doesn't come up as strongly, or maybe it doesn't come up at all. We find that we're more resilient, that we actually made peace with that thing that we didn't think we could make peace with. So this work is about getting to know ourselves, remembering who we are. It's about going back to the moments we've been carrying, consciously or unconsciously, from our childhood, and reprogramming those parts of our brain to have more resilience, naturally have more love, naturally be less agitated, naturally have more patience. So it's just about building out your tool set. That's it. It doesn't matter if you're 24, if you're, 32, 57, 89. It doesn't matter how old you are. There's no, I should know this by now. The very first step is just recognizing that these are just tools and that there are no shoulds and that there's nothing wrong with you for not having these in the first place. But right now you're standing at a choice point where you get to decide if you're just going to keep going with the same wounding, with the same lashing out, with the same frustrations, with the same numbness, with the same grief, with the same loneliness. you're going to meet yourself finally, maybe for the first time. And give yourself the things that you've been needing so that adult you can actually thrive, actually connect, actually heal your marriage, actually get through to your teenager, actually have a productive conversation with your boss. You deserve more than what is available to you right now. You deserve more tools. And so that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you get curious, to figure out where to start, to be able to begin to identify what these deeper emotions are, to get specific. I'm here to be a gentle mirror, to help you see where your blind spots are and to help you love them. Not in a superficial, positive, bullshit kind of way, but in an authentic, oh man, that's just my little kiddo, and they had absolutely no idea what to do. In an authentic, real kind of way. This is not something that happens overnight. It's not a destination we get to. This is the work of life. But the amazing thing is that when you get some practice with this work, when you start identifying your emotions on a daily basis and learning how to show up for yourself, you notice really quickly that you're changing. Healing may be lifelong, but getting some relief, some resilience, some emotional freedom and competency, getting that doesn't take a lifetime. It happens a lot faster than you think. And it happens in little moments throughout your day, every day. It's one breath at a time, one thought at a time, one moment at a time. And you don't have to do it alone. So if you're curious about these offerings and you want to learn more, the link to my website is in my bio. I'm here to walk with you. Let's begin the journey.